Hello, Steve by Steve RC9. Well, it is Christmas time again. A very difficult time of year if you are a single person. Some people love it, they have their own plans, they do their own version of Christmas, whatever. Other people, it's harder. Like I was like the youngest of eight, and my family's a lot of nieces and nephews, like 15 or 20, I've lost count. Um, and my mother died 7 years ago, so the last Christmas I had with family was 7 years ago when I had planned to travel there to see my mother. My mother died on December 17, and I went over on, I think, the 20th. So I viewed her body, and then I just started packing up her stuff. That ended up being left for me to do for the most part. And my family just, I always, I never had my family, but I always felt like I was a part of their family. I was going to be a part of their extended family. So I didn't really worry about it. And then I realised a few years before my mum died that they really didn't see me as part of the family. That I was sort of some sort of parody of a gay person that they found entertaining and just didn't really think of as family. And when my mum got sick, I realised, or even before that, I realised that I'm not really a part of this family. And when she goes, I'm just not going to be involved anymore. That's exactly what happened. I got some obligatory invitations to Christmas things while I was there. I kind of tried to make the most of them since I knew they were going to be my last Christmas with my family. And then I left, and they never really bothered with me after that. Never got an invite to join anyone's Christmases. I had a brief bit of contact with one or two of the family members, but they just never made any effort, and I just gave up, and they just forgot me. I don't exist apparently. It's very difficult. Now, I was sort of always an outsider in my family anyway. My eldest brother sort of left to get his own place when I was young, and the brother between me and him died when he was young. I never knew him. And my other brother, eldest brother, left, but even before that, due to dramas, and it was mostly my mother and sisters and nieces I grew up with. My dad really didn't pay any attention. He was always there, but his way of dealing with having 8 kids and that sort of obligation, I think, was just to drink in the evening after work and tune us all out, which is basically what he did. So it was really just me, my mum, my sister, and my nieces, but I was always the odd one out because I was the boy, and also later because I was gay. So I never really fit in, but I always felt like still extended family. I always would visit every year. I left to do university, 17, 14, 18, I came and stayed. I lived in Melbourne my whole adult life. But I always travelled home every Christmas and Easter. I never had my own Easter or Christmas. Like, this is my only Christmas ornament. I don't have a Christmas tree or anything like that because I always would go home for Christmas. I never set up my own Christmas. I always bought presents sort of when I was in Tassie, just would take a couple of things over Mum couldn't get in Melbourne. In Tasmania that I got in Melbourne, would bring them over, then we'd sort of pull it all together, work out what we needed to do the Christmas shopping, do the last night sort of wrapping during the Christmas carols and stuff. And that would be basically Christmas, and everyone would come over the next day, usually for lunch, and eventually the whole family would come from their different things, and all, there'd be 10, 20, 15 of us, and it was a big thing, and I thought that was organic. I didn't realise I was sort of making that happen because I was always pushing for everyone to come together at Christmas, because for me that is what families did and what I would do. I didn't realise that that was something they just did for me and Mum, because she also was alone, of course, because she split up with Dad and they all had their own families. And then when she went, that just ended, and I was just forgotten about. And I think one of the consolation prizes for my mother dying was they all thought, oh, we don't have to deal with Stephen anymore. We don't have to deal with the gay from the city. The artsy fartsy gay from the city who thinks he's better than us, which is the way they've always looked at me. And yeah, I just have to deal with being a person alone on Christmas now. And it's not easy. This is the time of year where I think most people, and I think a lot of gay guys, decide to depart. And each year it's gotten harder. My mum died 7 years ago, so that was my last Christmas. It's been 6 Christmases. This is my 6th Christmas alone, and it is really depressing. I try and set things up. Now I sort of have my Christmas traditions with what I watch. I watch the episodes of Roseanne on Christmas or holidays. I watch Home Alone 1 and 2. I watch Black Christmas. So I sort of have my Christmas movies, and I sort of have a couple little things just on Christmas to remind me of Christmas dinners that I used to have. So I've found ways to get by, but I just need to make a video about this to have a bit of YouTube therapy, share with other people in case of other people doing Christmas alone. If you're having the same experience, you're not alone. I don't know doubt many people will watch this, but I just want it to exist. And actually, I have a second Christmas ornament. This is a bunch of Smurfs around a Christmas tree that my Smurf dealer from the Netherlands included in a bunch of Smurfs I bought over Christmas last year. So now I have 2 Christmas ornaments. So that's how I know it's Christmas. I have the light up tree in the middle of the Smurf village and little Smurfs in the Smurf village. And that's it. That's Christmas for me, basically. That, watching the Christmas carols the night before, and watching Christmas movies. And I don't know, I when I was a little kid, I thought I had my own family. When I realised I wouldn't, I thought, well, you've got extended family, they've got kids, you're always going to be the uncle, you're always going to have somewhere to go on Christmas. And some of the people I befriended, one of the relationships I had where I got very close with his friends and his friends were his exes, I was always felt that I was part of the family now and I'd be included. And I even said to him when we were breaking up, am I going to be coming here for Easter and Christmas, or am I going to be alone? Like, what's happening? And he said I'd be included, and I never was. Partly because the guy he got back with, that he'd been with in the past, was just insecure and jealous, and he got rid of anyone he didn't like in his life, and I was like the first one to go. And I had other friends I thought I'd be part of their extended family, and gay friends I thought would be family. And some women I was friends with that, as soon as they had kids and settled down, they found a gay best friend didn't fit into their life anymore and didn't fit into the institutions and their lifestyle and their new life of kids and school and stuff. So you got to watch that as a gay. You spend too much time with straight girls. When they're single, they love you, but when they have a husband and they're now very conventional, you're just not part of their life anymore. And yeah, and the gays have let me down too, because most of the ones who spent time with me, hung out with me, they just needed someone to go to clubs with or whatever and not go alone, or they were just looking to hook up, and either they got it or they didn't and got tired of trying, and it's just me alone. And I need a bit of YouTube therapy to talk about. I did a longer video, but it got a bit ranty, and I thought I'll keep it under 10 minutes. And yeah, the more YouTube therapy I get, the more talking. Because talking to YouTube, like, even though there's no one here, I'm just looking at the camera, I am still talking to someone. I know there's an audience somewhere, someone will watch it. And it is a little therapeutic, because if you ever had therapy, a lot of times they just sit there and listen to you. They don't actually contribute much. But, yeah, I'm going to go have lunch with something slightly Christmassy to make it feel like, not just a regular day. And then I'm going to watch Home Alone 1 and 2 and some random Christmas movies, because I found a bunch of random Christmas movies, mostly just starring actors I like. And I'm just going through them this year. This year I watched Mrs. Santa Claus with Angela Lansbury, and another film with Lee Remick and Angela Lansbury where her mother dies and she's sort of having a dream about a lot of people who died and all this. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of very interesting little film. I watched that. And it's not only just Christmas carols the night before, Christmas movies, or my favourite episodes of TV shows that are based on Christmas, mostly Roseanne. And that's basically my Christmas, because my family has no interest in knowing me, and they do their own thing. I don't think they really come together as a whole on Christmas anymore now Mum's gone. That was something I think they were just doing for her and for me, and I didn't kind of realise that was something that me and Mum were sort of generating together, and I was wanting her to do that, thinking that was like what you do at Christmas, and people were sort of doing it for her, and then when she was gone, they weren't willing to do that for me, or include me. So yeah, now I'm a single gay guy alone with no family. Didn't quite see that coming. I will survive. I mean, even when I was part of the extended family, or thought I was, I still did most everything alone. I would only go back. I'd go back home every Christmas and Easter, but the rest of the year I was by myself. So if I can just get through those 2 excruciatingly painful holidays, excruciatingly lonely holidays that are all marketed around reminding you you're supposed to have a family, I should be okay for the rest of the year. Like, in a few days, we'll pass New Year's, it'll be 2005, I'll still be alive, and it'll be another year until I have to deal with this again. But it's going to come back every year. And yeah, it's been 6 years, I still haven't quite worked out how to handle it. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your Christmas experience is like if you're going through Christmas alone. Like, I had this weird experience with this random guy I was talking to at a store that cause I was getting stuff from there. I spoke to him like 2 other times, and he brought up the same things each time, and I'm like, is he trying to connect with me? Is he gay, or is he just lonely? Is he just, his friends don't like the things that I like and he's just trying to connect with someone? And I thought, maybe he's just lonely, it's Christmas, and maybe he doesn't have family either. And I just was like, I'm not the only person going through this, but you feel like you are. And you feel like an orphan. And the only other little thing I want to add in, when I was going out last night, I found this little toy on the ground, and I walked past it, and I sort of went back, so I'm like, who's going to remember they dropped that? So I thought, oh, someone's dropped it for a kid, they'll come back for it. I thought, who's going to realise they dropped it? Who's going to know where they dropped it? Who's going to come back on Christmas night? It was like 9:30. So I went back, got it, brought it home, gave it a wash, and I thought, why am I doing this? I'm like, because I can't leave the toy alone on Christmas, because the toy's me. I'm the sad penguin lying on the road, hoping someone will pick me up and take me home. That sounded sexual, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so I'm going to go spend my lonely Christmas with my little orphan penguin. And I wish you all Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a better one than me. And if you're not, feel free to let me know and share it with me.